So today I want to talk a little bit about the Switch Pro controller. I picked this up a couple days after launch. I ended up finding it at Walmart, and so far I've played about 45 hours of Zelda with this thing, and I gotta say it's great. It's really, really nice. If you were gonna compare it to the Joy-Cons in the Joy-Con grip, obviously the difference is the way everything's all laid out. The Joy-Cons are meant to be portable. They attach to the side of the Switch anyways. And this controller is meant to be used at home. So everything's a little more spaciously laid out. And this controller, I mean, just looking at it, it looks similar to an Xbox One controller in a lot of ways. It has the analog sticks, offset. I mean, so does this regular Joy-Cons, but that's a little bit different than the Wii U Pro controller, which had joysticks in a line. Which, I mean, I like this one too. I like this one better, just because of your hands naturally fall into place there, compared to up here. If you're going to talk about these buttons, I mean, some of you guys have seen pictures of them, just the renders or whatever advertisements. The face buttons actually look pretty damn large, but in actual use, they're nice. You'll never feel like they're too large or anything. I was a little bit worried about that when I first was looking into buying it, but not a big deal at all. When I first took it out of the box, I was feeling it, and the joysticks feel really nice. They're really smooth compared to the Switch ones. They're smooth too, but they don't have a lot of travel to them. Just the regular Joy-Cons. This thing is very smooth. Smoother than the Wii U Pro controller. I would say smoother than a PlayStation 4 controller, although I don't have one on me right now. I ended up selling my PS4 because I only wanted to play one game for this foreseeable future, so now I have that rare chance to buy a bundle later on. Here's the Black Friday, I guess. Okay, so back to this controller. The trigger buttons are nice. They're responsive. They're not super clicky like the other ones. And this D-pad, when I first took it out of the box, I was feeling it. It felt rough in a way. Like very grippy rough. Almost like a very mild sandpaper. Since I've used it more, I guess the oil of your skin kind of like covers it, so it's not really too crazy compared to like the Wii U controller, which is pretty damn smooth anyways. Same with these buttons. These ones have a little bit more texture to them, but after playing with them for a while, they get smoother. And this controller charges with the USB-C, which is the same thing your Switch charges with, and it also includes a charging cable in the box, so you can plug it into the side of the dock and not have to worry about unplugging your Switch now and then. This controller gets 40 hours of battery life, which is pretty fucking excellent. Beats the shit out of PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, the Xbox doesn't even have a rechargeable controller unless you pay $30 to buy the battery. Fucking ridiculous in this day and age, if you ask me. Another big difference for anyone that's played with the Wii U Pro controller, these LEDs are bright as shit. And if you're playing with them at in the dark, these fuckers are bright. I had a piece of painter's tape on this one just to cover it up. I took it off for the video's sake, but this shit is super bright. And they actually fixed that on the Switch Pro controller. It's now down at the bottom, and it's not nearly as bright. You can see it kind of lighten up there. It's not connected to the Switch right now. I don't want to push the button because it'll override my TV, and I'm using my TV to see what the fuck I'm doing on this. So besides that, I guess if you can afford to buy a Switch Pro controller, definitely do it, because it'll make a world of difference when you're playing Breath of the Wild, or really any other Switch game that comes out I mean, Mario Kart's coming out next month, and I guess if Super Smash Bros. Comes out, you would probably want that. Although, if Smash is coming out on this thing, they're more than likely going to release a patch to use the GameCube adapter on here. Because, honestly, that's what everyone wants to play with. So, that's really all I wanted to do is compare this controller a little bit to the Joy-Cons. And, like I said, if you can afford it, definitely buy it out. It's $70. A lot more places are starting to have them. They were sold out right away at launch, but now I think the bigger problem is people can't find the Switch. So if you already have a Switch, go pick this fucker up. You definitely won't regret it. I mean, the only downside I see to this thing is the lack of analog on the trigger buttons here, the Z buttons. But honestly, that's not that big of a deal. If you're just playing Zelda, Mario Kart, any of that. I mean, the Wii U didn't have an analog controller either, or analog trigger buttons, and it wasn't that big of a deal. And they did rectify it with one of the only games that really matters if you have one of those is Smash. So, I mean, like I said, go buy that shit if you can. If not, stick with the Joy-Cons. I mean, they're great. Fucking nice controller anyways. Alright. I'll catch you guys later.